Okay, today we're diving into a really big idea. What if every single piece of knowledge out there had a permanent, unchangeable history? A real story you could actually follow. It's a concept called on-chain commitment lineage, and trust me, it could totally revolutionize how we give credit for all the invisible work that powers our world.
So think about all the clean, reliable data we use every single day. There is a ton of effort. I'm talking tiny improvements, meticulous checks that goes into making it trustworthy. But, most of that work, it happens completely behind the scenes. And here's where the problem really starts. When someone makes a crucial fix or adds a vital piece of information, that contribution often just vanishes. It just gets absorbed into the final product. It leaves no trace, no breadcrumb trail leading back to where it came from.
So if there's no trail, what does that mean for the person who actually did the work? Well, it means no credit, right? Their amazing contribution just becomes invisible, swallowed up by the whole thing without any recognition at all.
So first, let's really shine a light on what we're calling the invisible work, all of that hidden effort that's happening behind our data. This could be something as simple as adding one crucial annotation that makes an AI model way smarter. Or maybe it's just taking the time to double-check a single fact that prevents misinformation from spreading. These little actions are literally the building blocks of knowledge, yet they almost always fade into the background.
And this all leads to a situation where the history just becomes a trail gone cold. We see the final, polished result, but the story of how it got there, it's just lost.
This creates this massive gap between the work that's being done and the credit that's being given. It's a gap in accountability, in history, and honestly, in fairness. And this is the problem that absolutely needs a solution.
So, this brings us to the solution, creating a living record. This is where the whole idea of on-chain commitment lineage comes into play. And believe me, this is where things get really, really interesting.
So what is it? Well, on-chain commitment lineage creates a permanent history for data by recording it on-chain, which just means on a secure public ledger, kind of like a blockchain. This system is designed to track every single contribution, who made the change, what they changed, and exactly when they did it.
Here's a perfect way to think about it. You know how developers use tools like Git for version control? It tracks every single change to a piece of code. Well, on-chain lineage applies that exact same logic, but to knowledge. It's basically like Git, but for data itself. And it creates a provable, living record. And the process? It's beautifully simple. It all starts when someone makes a contribution. That change then gets permanently logged on-chain. And from that moment on, it becomes a lasting, unchangeable part of that data story, a story that just keeps growing with every new contribution.
This changes things in a really fundamental way. With on-chain lineage, ownership, and accountability, they aren't optional anymore. They are literally baked directly into the data's history. You can't separate the information from the story of how it was made.
Okay, so why does any of this matter? What are the actual tangible benefits of having a provable history for all of our knowledge? Well, it leads to two major results. First, data becomes truly auditable, which is absolutely critical for training trustworthy AI. You know exactly where that training data came from. And second, and this is just as important, the work of individual contributors finally becomes provable, not invisible.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Knowledge becomes traceable, and credit finally sticks. It's that simple and that powerful.
So what does this all enable? Well, it really points toward the future of trust, a world with a living, breathing record for the information we all rely on.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with today. Just imagine if every fact you ever encountered had a complete, provable history. You could see who made it, who changed it, who verified it. How would that change what you choose to trust? It's a pretty powerful question, and one worth thinking about.